Monster Hunter Rise and its Sunbreak DLC are the most recent entries to the Monster Hunter franchise. The game is packed with monsters and adds to the streamlined foundation built with Monster Hunter World and the Iceborne expansion. These games are incredibly light on storytelling, and Rise is no exception. Instead, you get thrown into monster slaying action way faster, with more flexibility and even more weapon and battle customization. Monster Hunter Rise also gives the player an amazing co-op experience and a gameplay loop that will make it difficult to not want to tackle one more hunt to carve monster parts and upgrade your weapons and armor. However, there are several key questions to consider when thinking about playing Monster Hunter Rise. Is this the first game in the franchise you should play? How steep is the learning curve? And even though Monster Hunter Rise launched as a Switch exclusive, should I play this on PC and ditch the Switch's portability? The first few hours of the game take you step by step through the art of hunting monsters, which is essential in teaching new players the fundamentals of this franchise. You're also introduced to gameplay mechanics that are new to Rise, or you might not have experienced in other games. By this time, you've also customized your Palamute, which is a giant dog that helps you traverse throughout the map at high speeds and gives you an attacking buddy on your solo monster hunts. Palamutes are such a great addition to Rise that I really hope they become a permanent fixture in the Monster Hunter franchise. Once you learn how to travel with your wire bug, trap monsters, beat them into submission so you can ride them, and slay your first monsters, you're directed to the quest Maiden, where you can select your next hunts to move through the solo campaign. You're required to complete a certain number of main quests to progress to the next tier, and hunts have a limit of 50 minutes, but once you get into the grooves of slaying and capturing monsters, 50 minutes is more than enough time to finish your quest. In addition to solo quests, you have a co-op hub, which can be completed solo, but the increased difficulty lends itself to being a great co-op experience. In the early game, you have access to a training facility and easier quests that will allow you to try out one of the 14 different weapons available to you in Monster Hunter Rise, and a key part of any hunter's journey is finding the weapons that work best for your preferred playstyle. So it's definitely worth spending time exploring a few options or watching a few videos to determine which weapon is best suited for you. I ended up going with the sword and shield, but I do want to give the bow a long look soon. But enough about all that, let's talk about the monsters, and each monster has a unique battle style that will likely take you several hunts to fully master. And each monster has its own elemental strengths and weaknesses that are very important to understand for a few reasons. One, understanding these strengths and weaknesses help you determine the best weapons and armor to bring to your hunt, making it easier to slay or capture monsters. And two, these elemental weaknesses and strengths will carry over to the armor you end up forging. Once you've carved parts from a slayed monster, or received parts from a capture monster, you can begin forging armor. You can upgrade the armor by collecting more monster parts and other materials that are earned by completing side quests and main story quests. If you like what your armor does but hate how it looks, you can use a layered armor to change it. Once you reach rank 8 hub quests, you can forge layered armor at the smithy using outfit vouchers and equip it at the supply box. We mentioned the game is light on story, and I cannot stress this enough, you are not playing these games for the story, and that's totally fine. Mastering your weapons, tackling monsters with increased skill and competency, and building out armor sets are the game's main focus. You'll likely have an amazing time exploring new maps and learning about new monsters. To that point, you do have a monster journal that gives you additional insights into the monsters you hunt, and the added lore is so much fun to read through. You'll probably quickly realize which monsters are challenging for your weapon and gameplay style, but you'll also realize how cool the monsters are in this game. Monster Hunter Rise is my first Monster Hunter game, and I was blown away by how real these extremely fantastical monster designs actually feel. The monsters battle with each other, roam in groups, and obviously are inspired by monsters found in our real world and fictional monsters. Each monster has a unique battle experience, and you might find yourself focusing on armor sets that honor monsters from your most challenging battles. Typically, you have 2 to 3 big monsters per map, but still you're only required to hunt one of the monsters, and the environment has tons of small monsters, plant life, rock materials, and other endemic life to make each environment feel real and unique. Monster Hunter Rise is one of the most visually complex games I've played on the Switch, and the Switch hardware does an admirable job of running the game in docked and handheld modes. You will see some choppiness when you look at monsters from a far distance, but overall the gameplay is enjoyable. However, playing Monster Hunter Rise on PC allows you to play with uncapped frame rates and 4K resolution, assuming that your PC is up to the task. So, depending on your PC, it's really hardly a comparison. I typically recommend picking up games on Switch because of the portability factor, which is just so convenient, but the game looks so gorgeous on PC, assuming you have a PC that can handle the high resolution frame rates, you might want to take a long look at getting the PC version. Both the PC and Switch versions have access to robust free and paid downloadable content that expands the game tremendously, and is worth considering when thinking about picking up this game. Sunbreak is the paid expansion to the game that sees your adventure continue in a town hub with new locales, monsters, and armor. In Sunbreak, you get access to monster rank quests, which will change the way you interact with monsters you hunted previously in Monster Hunter Rise, the base game. But similar to the base game, you're likely not purchasing Sunbreak because of the story. This is truly an expansion of the main game, focusing on monsters, weapon, armor, and locales. Co-op in Monster Hunter Rise is extremely easy to access. You can make a room and invite your friends, or leave the room open for others to join, and you can also easily join another hunt. You do not have to play this game in co-op, but I do want to note that gamers who are looking for a fun co-op experience should definitely have Monster Hunter Rise on their list of games to play. If you're a Monster Hunter pro, you likely know what you're getting into with Monster Hunter Rise. It's not a sequel to Monster Hunter World, but serves as a continuation of the franchise that is becoming increasingly more mainstream. Monster Hunter World is grander than Monster Hunter Rise in very important ways, including graphics and storytelling. If you are a fan of the Monster Hunter franchise, you want to consider carefully if the simplified Rise gameplay, graphics, and story are something you want to invest time into. For newcomers to the series, this might be the perfect entry point. Even better than Monster Hunter Story since you get to understand the true Monster Hunter experience. For gamers looking for a game that's focused on action, gameplay, weapon, and armor upgrades while hunting down amazing monsters, Monster Hunter Rise is a game you'll want to check out. As always, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you a fan of the Monster Hunter series? Is Monster Hunter Rise the first game you're considering in the franchise? And of course, if you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe to stay updated on all our future videos. Bye everyone.